Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at Gridiron Studios upper half of the mech that works with the Trouble Bubble. So here is the arms that go with it, and then you have some flame effects, some missiles, gun, a flamethrower, and some other things. We're going to see how it goes. We're also going to make a little correction on the lower half that I did miss with the leg. So just bear with me when we get to that. I will show it off really quickly. It really does change the mech. I was wrong in my first review. But anyway, we're going to get to this. We're going to see how it looks. So far, I quickly went over everything, kind of messing with it, seeing how it fits and everything. I haven't put it together yet. And I got to say that the color really does match like we saw before. And it seems very sturdy. Not like your cheap 3D... Not the cheap PLA plastic that you would normally 3D print from home. So anyway, it's probably resin. I can't be positive. But again, they put a lot of time and care into the majority of their stuff. Again, I think I had a few issues with some of the stuff with the stinger to make the big ground pounder. But anyway... We're going to get into this. All right, we'll take a look at it, and then we'll go over the legs first. So anyway, before we do, if you like this type of content, you like the Gridiron stuff that I've given you, that I reviewed, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, then hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop something to do with Gridiron. It was literally stuck around my finger. Okay, so before we started, like you said, I want to talk about something with the mech legs. Now, I did not realize that the feet move, so I thought it was just kind of stationary. I thought, wow, that's not that cool. It really doesn't do very much, but I was wrong. The feet do articulate, and they're strong enough that you can hold it up on one leg easily. So you can clearly make it look like it is running. If that's what you want to do. Obviously, it has to be balanced, but you can see here, not a problem balancing it. That was my mistake, my fault. So I definitely needed to show that. I actually thought that I'd have these arms sooner. I know a lot of other people have gotten them, but unfortunately, it's taken this long for them to make it here. We're just last on the list. Anyway, here we are. I'm going to push this out of the way. So here is the arms, and this is going to plug right into where the jetpack goes. The detail on this looks really good. You got a spot that you're going to be able to put the ammo rounds, the bullet belt, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, a couple places that you're going to be able to plug some shields on it. Here we have some nice black, and again, they have this tubing, which really does pop because it's just not just hard plastic. It's not just 3D printed. It is soft, so it is going to be pliable, and it's going to move with the arms, obviously, as you kind of place it where you want it. All right. Now looking at this here, it has a flamethrower for one side, a machine gun for the other, and it doesn't matter what side you put it in. That's what she said. You have the ammo belt right here, or I can plug in right over there. I think I actually forgot where it's supposed to go to. You know what? That was one thing. I thought that I looked. Oh, okay, so the chain belt feeds in on either side to this side where your machine gun is going to be. All right. So alongside with that, we got two rocket pods. And again, this looks good. You can see we're just going to be able to plug it right in. Now, looking at this design of what they're doing, I would assume that they're going to make these for a few other things. So there's no reason why they can't make some back blasts here. Obviously, there's not going to be any front missiles. These don't come out, but the paint is nice on it. So you got these red tips. And this is actually pretty cool because my buddy Greg, who gives me these to review, he printed a 3D printed... He did a 3D printed Wolverine, and he did white missiles with red tips, very much like this. So anyway, that looks all good there. I guess you can see a little bit of striations, not that big of a deal. And then you have the exact same one over on this side, but just a little bit of paint right there. makes it actually look like it is on a hydraulic system to move it up and down. Here we have a couple shields for the arms. They're going to plug in here. On one side, you have a nice little flame effect. All right. And it looks like they're having the same issue. We had this problem. Look at that. Right there, you're having the same problem. That one was actually pretty good. For this one, we have all kinds of issues. So, but we have the target. But that is weird, like that they, now usually they have that type of stuff taken care of. But this is, I don't know. This, everything else looks high quality of what we've come to expect, but this is a little disappointing, I'm not going to lie. But we pushed those on both sides. Here we have the bullet belt, the chains, all right. And it looks like the tips, are the tips painted? Nope, it's just in a, it looks like it's just in a glossy print, or maybe it's painted over it. Yeah, it has a paint over it, is what it looks like. But I love the fact that these are all individual. All right, so it actually moves. It doesn't just bend and flex like the plastic ones. Here we have our machine gun. All right, it does have a port for blast effects, if you're interested. Let me turn this light on, maybe we can see a little bit better. All right, so you have your vents, so it doesn't overheat as much. And this is just going to plug directly into here, like so. And then you can rotate it. But again, this can be removed and use it wherever you want. Then we have the flamethrower. Again, reminds you a lot of what Torch's flamethrower blowtorch looks like. You're going to plug the flame effect onto here. That's obviously what's lighting it. So here's going to be your gasoline or your fuel or whatever it is. And once again, this is just going to plug directly into whatever side you want. Here's the flame effect. That is nice and sturdy and straight. All right. There is no flex to it whatsoever. Now, it is laid down flat. So it's meant to be going on the ground. And even though I'm able to get this, and I was just kind of messing around with it, I will be able to get it up. That's what she said. I'll be able to get it too. There's no way to say it without it sounding sexual, guys. Anyway, if we want, it can be in this direction. But eventually, it'll just kind of pop off, I think. So, but anyway, let's get this thing together. Let's see how it looks. Oh, what I was actually going to say about this is this tells me that, hey, maybe they can go do some dragonfly effects. They can do some effects for the Stinger missiles, for the hiss. I mean, I'm really disappointed that Hasbro didn't do any for us. I know they did the Dragonfly, but they didn't do anything for the hiss. They didn't do anything proper for the Stinger. Hopefully there's some stuff they can go do. So, let's take this. First thing we're going to do, we're going to pop this off. Here we have the two notches, and let's hope that they fit on. I guess we're removing, have to remove the missiles, so no missiles for you. And you can see here that it's just going to kind of clip right on, along with the pegs here. So it should stay nice and sturdy. And let's see here. And again, before anyone asks, why do you do it like this? Oh, I like to show you guys exactly what you're going to have to do. In case you're not so sure. And so there we have that. All right. I still have the same pilot in there. On the back we have the rocket pods. I'm going to throw that right on there, and they snapped on nice and easy. Didn't really have to use any pressure. And then we can move them around. All right. And if we want to take them off, they're going to pop off just as easy. All right. So we'll leave those up in the up position like that. Now we'll take the our gun. We're going to plug that in right there. And it only goes one direction. It goes in the up direction like that. And then what we're going to do is we have our gridiron. See, everything says GS on it. And they are keyed, so it only goes in one direction. And that is a, it's a tight fit. You guys can say it at home. All right, and there's the bottom. And the bottom doesn't look like it really matters. But at this point, I guess you're probably going to assume everything is going to be facing in the same direction. So maybe you want him to be a lefty. He can be a lefty. That is a really, really... I have to squeeze it in there. It almost looks like it's too small. And again, because this is 3D printed, you can always heat it up and remove stuff if need be. But it's something I try not to do too often. So, Greg, if you're listening, why don't you just bring over your flight pod for me so I can take that one and you can have this one. You can just have this one. All right. Here we have our flame effect. I'm assuming it's going to go... Okay, so this is actually in the down. For some reason, I was thinking that was on the top. That's in the down position there. Now we have the flame that we're going to throw right here. So I guess Cobra troops know to stand away. And then we have the target that we're going to throw right over here. And of course, I don't know if there's going to be enough in this to get this thing off the ground, but you can still pop the back piece on there. Now, I don't think that there's going to be enough lift for that, but hey, what the hell do I know? I just mess around and play with toys and do reviews. All right, so here we are. The arms do move up and down a little bit. So they're pretty much going to move. I mean, there's only so far that you can go. You can see it goes out a little bit. All right. It can move. It shoots straight up, so it can shoot at the dragonfly. It can easily stop and shoot at... I move this. Shift that out of position. And shoot at one of the your ramps. If you have 3D printed Wolverine, it can shoot at that. Here we have our rockets. I do love the way the rockets look. I always loved on the Transformers the shoulder cannons, and this is kind of the feel that I get with this. All right, then we're going to take this and we're going to plug that right on in there like so, and maybe it's not going to stay. Maybe it does need to be on the ground. I guess you do have to kind of fire it in front of you. Yeah, I'm not having so much luck in that thing to stay on. I mean, makes no sense to go that way because it's flat right there. So you're pretty much, I guess, going to be burning the ground directly in front of you. Yeah, I'm not having a lot of luck with that. So there, now it's actually off the ground. I mean, it's actually not touching. It looks really nice. I just don't know how well it stays. That doesn't seem like it's going to stay on all that well. So, nice design. I feel like it needs to plug in a little bit better. Maybe have more of a, like a cup here so I can wrap around there. But if you want, because we're here, like we can kind of, this thing is shifting off. So we can get this thing back on there. I think it's got to be nice and tight there. I removed it, that's the reason why. But here we can kind of burn down this lamp, the light post that I have there. But there you go. Again, I do think that this looks really nice. It has taken on a whole new look, in my personal opinion. After I got it, does it have the strength to have him on one leg? I can still get him on one leg. Again, that was my mistake. And again, you can actuate it and move it around so he's kind of running through the grass. I actually think this is actually a pretty neat design, even though I'm not a big mech fan. Once I realized that the feet articulate, it really changed everything. It does look completely different now. The shots, I mean, these are just natural running shots in my personal opinion. So again, I do think this looks pretty cool. The flame effect here, again, I don't think it's the greatest in my personal opinion. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, and if I am, please let me know. The missiles here, you're just kind of SOL. I guess they're just going to get pushed to the side. There's really nothing that you can do with it. But there is your Gridiron upper half of the mech. The body part portion, I do believe my buddy Greg will be getting in soon. So once I get that, I'll get this all put together. And then I think that's the end of it. Matter of fact, Gridiron showed a video saying, like, that's a wrap. So this is a wrap. All right, so there you go. That is the Gridiron Studios upper half of the mech, and then a recant on the lower half on the feet that I didn't realize articulate. Again, I'm not a huge mech fan. You have a trouble bubble, it can fly. I like a lot of my stuff being just kind of normal. I'll buy a second one if I want to really kit it out or mod it out. But again, this is your choice. You do what you want because toys are made to be fun. And if you enjoy putting all this stuff on it and you like the way this looks, then go get it and have fun with your toys because that's what they're there for, to have fun with them. So anyway, pick it up if you are interested. Gridiron Studios, that's where you're going to find this. Is the only place that you can find it. I don't think it's going to be on BBTS, but don't quote me on that because they did put their Vamp and Stinger wheels up. I think they're ferrets too. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. But before I do, I don't know why I stutter like that. Before I do, you've watched this long enough, you stay. Take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a Gridiron video. Now up here, I'm going to leave another Gridiron video, and down here is going to be a playlist of all the Gridiron stuff that I've done. Take care.